Hi, I'm Grace Dawes. I'm the editor of Movement, and I'm here at Move America 2024 today. And I'm kindly joined by Justine Johnson, the Chief Mobility Officer for the state of Michigan. Thank you so much for joining me today, Justine.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, great. I'm glad you're here. How's your Move America experience been so far?
It's been fantastic. I've literally met so many companies from across the world, I mean, literally around the world. And it's been fantastic just to connect with companies, talk about some of the work that we're doing in Michigan, and also to track to a number of different players who are in the mobility space as well.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, just before you told me you were in meetings all morning, so it's good.
Yeah, very positive.
I understand that you've had your keynote panel yesterday
Yes.
on how we can think differently about cities. And I know you're joined by Nokia, Audi, the City of LA. And can you tell me a bit about some of your main takeaways from that chat, what you learned from it, and also what you gave to it as well?
Yeah, I think the chat was really helpful of having not only the private sector there, but also the
Yes.
public sector at the table. And hearing in many ways there are challenges that we face when we talk about electrification. There are challenges that we face when we talk about rolling out a lot of new technology in the everyday built environment where there's so many complexities, right? And so talking about some of those complexities and those challenges, but also talking about the different approaches that different places are experiencing and they're doing. And, in the state of Michigan, we have a number of different resources from funding, we have test sites, so we talked a lot about that, and that was really helpful for people to hear. And just again, from the funding perspective, so many people saying, I didn't know you guys had funding to support these types of initiatives. There may be some synergies for us to start comparing notes.
Yeah.
So it was really great to hear ways in which we can work together, compare notes, and really to support this movement of people, goods, and information across the world.
Yeah, definitely. That's what we love to hear. And what do you see as the biggest challenges facing Michigan in terms of mobility and electrification? How is your office addressing these challenges?
Yeah, so one of the unique things about our office is the first of its kind in the United States. It is the Office of Future Mobility and Electrification. And so we have a mobility plan in the state of Michigan. Our plan has some aggressive goals around charging infrastructure and having enough charging ports available to support 2 million passenger EVs by 2030.
Wow.
And so that is a huge goal, and we know the infrastructure is important to help people to make that transition. So that's a big challenge for us every day. We have to also talk about the diversity within clean energy. So hydrogen is also
Yes.
another really important dialogue and conversation for us, and we've been pursuing a lot of federal funding and also securing that. But we're at this point where we're doing the best that we can and making sure that people start to have more comfort with making that transition into
Yes.
electrification. So it's a challenge, but something that we're not running away from, and we're putting all of our efforts towards making this transition easy and as seamless as possible for a number of communities, whether that's someone who may not own a car to someone who does own a car. And how do
Yeah.
we think about shared and as well as individual ownership for electric vehicles and beyond?
Yeah, definitely. That's something I've really noticed about electrification this year is that infrastructure, fine, there's goals, we can get there. It's more just the people that is kind of the pain points.
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing that companies have been talking the most about is how do you nudge people in that direction? Like you said, you've got the funding, we've got the plans, we've got the goals, but how do you actually get people there?
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
main thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how does your office collaborate with automakers, tech companies, and local governments to drive innovation in mobility?
Yeah, I think one of the important things when we talk about Michigan, we are the state that put the rest of the world on wheels. And our backyard is literally the top 3 U.S. automakers are located in the state of Michigan. We have 98 out of 100 tier 1 automotive suppliers. And so Michigan in many ways is kind of this birthplace of the American automotive and supplier industry, and it is very important to our day-to-day conversations today. So we work very closely with our OEMs. We work very closely with suppliers. We have a number of colleges and universities that are producing some of the best talent in the United States coming literally out of the state of Michigan. And so really about attracting those young folks to the state to learn, especially when we talk about STEAM and STEM careers, science, technology, engineering, math, robotics. You're seeing so many we have the highest concentration of engineers in the state of Michigan, those who are graduating from their 4-year universities. And so really about retaining that talent is something that's really important to us, especially seeing how they're getting that formalized training there. We work closely with communities, we work closely across other state departments, because that is important to us in terms of collaborating. It's really truly paramount to our success as a state.
Of course.
And so we can't do this alone. And so we know that each player has a part to play in terms of building the vehicles, building the charging infrastructure, even down to the roads, right? Like we have the first electric wireless charging roadway in the United States.
Wow.
In Michigan,
Yeah.
right? And so it's literally ingrained in our full ecosystem.
Yeah.
And as well as we know, high growth companies, entrepreneurs, innovators, we work with everyone, right? And this is where the extraordinary is being manifested.
Yeah, amazing. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me
Thank you.
today, and thank you for coming to Move America and speaking in our keynote panel.
Yes.
I've learned a lot from even just speaking to you right now, so thank you so much.
Thank you, appreciate it.
And I hope you enjoy the rest of your time here.
Yes, I absolutely will. Thank you.